yet another devastating tragedy has unfolded in the Himalayas. This time, a massive mudslide swept and swallowed almost an entire village nestled in God's abode. Our job, as usual, will be to analyze the situation, try and understand the reasons, and learn quite a bit of interesting things along the way of spreading awareness amongst ourselves as well as the general population. So, let us begin. So, first of all, we'll try to analyze this area. This map you might have come across or not, but to make things more appealing, let us analyze or try to locate where exactly the disaster happened. So this is Gangotri. Okay, this is the Bhagirathi river. We know that Ganga forms from two main tributaries, that is Bhagirathi and Alaknanda to its east. So this Dharali village is the epicenter of the disaster mudslide. Some people term it as floods also, but basically, from what I have observed, from what the constituents of that slide has been, the constituents of the disaster, it is mainly classified as a mudslide. So it is also an interesting aspect of geography. We'll come to that. So this is the Bhagirathi river, as I've told you. This is the Harsil. There's an army camp located here and a helipad also, from where the amenities or rescue operations are being carried out. Okay, and side by side, we'll also discuss some of the highway. This is part of National Highway 34 also, not exactly along the river, but because of one of the reasons why the rescue operations have become very difficult to perform is because the roads leading to this have been blocked. One more important place you might have heard in the news, this Suki. So basically, this Suki and this Dharali are the two places massively affected by the mudslide, or you can say flood. And there is one place here, Bhatwari. So this is the headquarters of the sub tehsil. Okay, so it is also quite far away from this place, the place where the rescue operations have to be carried out. Now, the important thing, I've shown you this image. So this is a much more zoomed in image. So here we can see the area which is affected, almost 13.4 acre. A lot of hundreds of buildings have been wiped out. So this is the Kheergarh Nulla, or Kheergarh or Kheergarh stream. We sometimes we also say, some people have named it. This is also Kheer Ganga stream, some people call it. So basically what happened is this debris, the debris which we are calling the mudslide. So these debris has flown across this channel, this narrow stream, and then it has swallowed or swept, it has engulfed the entire area. The village is here, the Bhagirathi river is here. Now you can see this symbol, north is down. So if I again show you the map, so actually the stream, this Kheergarh Nulla, this is south, this is actual south, this is north. So these are the important mountain, these are the high elevation areas. Here the stream, this is a high level, this is a low level. So the Kheer Ganga or the Kheergarh Nulla stream is flowing from south to north because the slope is like this. Okay, to make things easier, I have shown you the image in the actual presentation as reversed, but this is the way. So here the slope, there is a slope, so the mudslides have flown along the Kheergarh Nulla stream and this attacked or swept away the Dharali village. Okay, so this we have located the. Okay, before we progress, one interesting thing I wanted to do with you is to mark some important rivers, some important places. So next time, not only are you aware if you are planning for tourism, or even if you want to understand why this Uttarakhand, especially Himachal Pradesh, why these are continuously ceaselessly, relentlessly affected by nature's fury. So you can understand and relate the various places that you can relate with each other. So this is the map of the Uttarakhand state. Okay, it's going to be very interesting. I'll try to be as quick as possible. This is Nepal, this is China or Tibet, this is Himachal Pradesh, this is UP, this is Haryana. Okay, so some districts. First of all, I want to tell you that Uttarakhand as a whole is divided into two major regional or administrative divisions. One is the Gadwal side and one is the Kumaon side. Okay, so this boundary, this pink boundary which you can see, so this divides it into two. So this left part or the western part is the Garhwal side and the eastern part is the Kumaon side. So some districts, if you want to know, so this is Uttarakashi. So here it is that Dharshila, this Dharali, the village which has been affected. So I'll help you map this out. So this is Uttarkashi. This is Dehradun district. This is Tehri Garhwal. This is Pauri Garhwal. This is Haridwar district. This is Rudraprayag. This is Chamoli. This is Pithoragarh. This is Bageshwar. This is Almora. This is Nainital district. This is Champawat. And this is Udham Singh Nagar. Okay. So now let's do a bit of the mapping. I'm just marking some of the important rivers which you should be aware of. Okay. So this is the Bhagirathi river. Okay. So which will be the focus of attention today. So here the Gangotri place. Gangotri is a place also. Gangotri is a glacier also. And there is a place which is said to be the origin of Ganga or Bhagirathi. It is known as Gaumukh. Okay. So here we have Dharali village. Here Harsil. Here we have Batwari. Okay. The district, the sub tehsil headquarters. Here we have Uttarkashi. Uttarkashi is a district also, and it is a place here, Uttarkashi also, which is the headquarters. Okay. Then this is Yamuna. So here there is a Gangotri glacier. Here this is Yamuna. Okay. So this is UP, this is Haryana, this is Himachal Pradesh. Later on, it joins with Delhi. It enters Delhi. This is Yamuna. So there is a Yamunotri glacier also, and this is an important peak there known as Bandar Poonch. So the Yamuna originates from near this mountain. This is the Tons River, important right bank tributary of Yamuna. This is the Hindan River, Hindan in Ghaziabad. Okay, we can see in Ghaziabad. This is some important river places. So this is Dehradun. This is Masuri, where IAS officers, to be IAS officers are trained. This is the Song River, a minor river, but sometimes this also gets flooded due to cloudburst or excess rainfall. Okay, so this is Bhagirathi, and this river here is the Alaknanda. So where the Alaknanda and the Bhagirathi meet, it is known as Dev Prayag. Okay, here this is Haridwar. This is Haridwar district, and this is Haridwar place. Then here we have Rishikesh. Here there is a place Srinagar. Okay. Okay, one Srinagar is in Jammu and Kashmir, one Srinagar is here also. This is an important place, Kedarnath. Okay, this is the river near Kedarnath known as Mandakini, where Mandakini meets Alaknanda. It is known as Rudraprayag. This is the Rudraprayag district. Mandakini, some of the tributaries of Mandakini. This is the Dhauli Ganga, where Dhauli Ganga meets the Mandakini. It is known as Vishnu Prayag. This is Nandakini, where Nandakini meets Alaknanda. It is known as Nandaprayag. This is the Pindar River. Pindar, where it meets the Alaknanda River, it is known as Karnaprayag. Then there is a Vasuki Ganga also coming from the north. When it meets Alaknanda, it is known as Sonprayag. Okay, so this is Kedarnath. Here we have Badrinath. So the char dhams we have covered in Uttarakhand: Yamunotri, Gangotri, Kedarnath, Badrinath. Okay, some important dams. This is the Tehri Dam. Okay, there is this Rishi Ganga, Dhauli Ganga River, Tapovan, Vishnugad. Why I am discussing this? Because we are also going to reflect upon the devastating floods which occurred in 2021 in Chamoli and also the 2013 Kedarnath. So in Kedarnath, the primary river which was flooded was Mandakini. In case of Chamoli, the primary river was Dhauli Ganga. Okay. So here we have Kedarnath. Here important towns: Joshimath. Here we have Chamoli. This entire district is Chamoli also. Okay. Then we have here Tanakpur Barrage. This is the Ram Ganga River. Here we have a very important national park. So wedding destination also, this is Jim Corbett National Park. Okay. Then some important mountains. We have Kamet, we have Nanda Devi. Nanda Devi is the second highest mountain in the Indian Himalayas after Kanchenjunga. Then we have Trishul here, some important peaks. Then we have some important areas also. Here we have the Valley of Flowers or the Nanda Devi National Park. It is a huge area, biosphere reserve also. Here we have place of pilgrimage, the Hemkund Sahib. Then some passes. We have Hagala, then we have Mana Pass, then we have Niti, then we have Lipu Lake. Fine. So pass is basically an area between the mountain ranges where you can pass from one cross the border. Okay. So major places we have covered. This is Almora, this is Nainital, this is Bageshwar, this is Pithoragarh. Okay, this is an important river also, tributary of Bhagirathi, Bilangana. Okay, so this is, you can keep in mind this. Okay, so we are discussing this Harsil. Now, first of all, we need to know the difference whether it is a mudslide, whether it is a flood, whether it is a landslide. So, what exactly has affected or devastated the Dharali village? So, two terms you should note. Landslide, we have discussed in one of my previous lectures also. I'll just write the keyword so that definition is clear. You can understand. It is a gravitational movement. Landslide is a gravitational movement of debris, earth, gravel, sediments, okay, etc., down a slope and along a shear plane. Shear plane, this word you can avoid focusing on for the time being. So here, this is an example of a landslide. So basically, if we have a slope, okay, sometimes what happens is these debris, this earth, This is the shear plane. So this gets detached. This gets detached and then it flows down. Okay. This is an example of mudslide. This is an actual picture of the village and the buildings, the cars being swept away, engulfed by the Kir Ganga mudslide. So, landslide is an umbrella term. Mudslide is a type of landslide. The only difference is in mudslide, there is more liquid, more fluid, in this case, water. The sediments are finer, silt and clay. They are much smaller in size. They don't have such large boulders, generally speaking, and they are much faster. Okay, so if you have seen the video clips, you can see with how much pace they come. Landslides are also sudden, but here you can see the visible difference. Floods, they are being combined with mudslide because it is a stream, the Nulla or the Khir stream, it is a body of water, okay, along which the mudslide or the debris have flown, okay. But normally floods we associate with rivers like Bhagirathi, Ganga. So this is the actual stuff. Okay. Now, before we go any further and analyze the causes, now most of the people in news also you might have heard this reason: cloudburst. So cloudburst, again, I have discussed previously also in simple words. Cloudburst or Badal Phatna. What is this? In simple words, large amount of rainfall taking place in a very short period of time and over a very small geographical area. Okay. So whenever there is torrential rainfall, people say badal phat gaya or there is a cloud burst that has occurred, but that is not the case. IMD or Indian Meteorological Department has given a specific criteria for classifying any torrential rainfall event as a cloud burst. It says that if a geographical area of 20 to 30 kilometers square receives a rainfall of at least 100 or 10 centimeters in 1 hour, then these conditions they qualify for calling the rainfall event as a cloudburst. Okay, so this is the actual criteria. So what happens in, we can simply say that when we saw the diagram, so what would have happened if cloudburst? Massive amount of rainfall, the debris which would have been saturated with water and downflow along the slope under the influence of gravity. Okay, we'll come to what is missing in this picture. Second reason that the scientist I've been discussing about, the actual cause has not been sorted out. The investigation is still going on. Is the GLOF, Glacial Lake Outburst Flood. There's an entire video in one of my playlists here also. But basically, Glacial Lake Outburst Flood. Floods we have discussed when the banks of a river are breached and it inundates or floods, captures, submerges an area which is not normally submerged. That qualifies as a flood. Okay. What is a glacial lake? Glacial lake is a lake which is formed by a glacier. Basically, what is happening in this area, this lake, earlier it was not there. This is a part of a glacier. This glacier covered this entire area and it has receded due to natural causes, climate change, warming. So it has, recession means it has melted, and the glacier, because glacier is means a slow moving river of ice and snow. So we have to go by definition. So glacier is now here. Earlier it was here. So in its place, the water has melted and formed a lake. So glacial lake. Outburst flood. Outburst means, now this is important. Flood we discussed when the river breaches its bank. Here you can see there is no particular dam or a concrete solid embankment. Rather, we have this structure, this depression, which has been this bank. So this is formed of the unconsolidated particles which are known as moraine. So it's not that glacier always only contains ice and snow. When it comes down the slope, it also carries the debris, boulders, small gravel pieces, stone, rocks along with it. And when it recedes, it deposits it in the depression here. And when the water collects, so this unconsolidated material is the only thing which is containing this lake. And you can see here there is a moraine breach. So anything can cause this moraine breach. If high rainfall takes place, then very simple concept, this lake level will rise, and some, because these are unconsolidated materials, it will definitely find a way to flow downstream. So this will contribute to a GLOF, glacial lake outburst flood. Then it may happen that a landslide or avalanche takes place. It will bring along with itself a lot of debris, a lot of sediments, a lot of materials. They will impound, they will dump into the water, they will displace the water, and again the downstream areas will be flooded. Then if an earthquake is taking place, if an earthquake, any seismic activity is taking place, then also these embankments can be breached, they can be disentangled, they can be dismantled, and again, so there are various reasons. Then sometimes what happens is a part of this glacier may break off and then fall in the lake and displace the water. So this is an important term often used, glacial carving. So this was actually the main reason of the GLOF which caused the Chamoli floods in 2021. The Kedarnath floods of 2013 were caused due to the burst, which then caused excess precipitation into the Chorabari Glacier. Chorabari Glacier. So some glaciers here. So basically, this is Kedarnath. So here is Chorabari Glacier. It is one of the sources of the Mandakini River. Okay. And here we have the Milam Glacier. Here we have the Satopant Glacier, source of river Alaknanda. Okay. So these are two different terms. I hope you have understood the difference between cloudburst and glacial lake outburst flood and how they are related. Now, the theories. First theory is that what led to, now we are going to discuss what actually led to the mudslide or the flood. So first, most commonly which is being discussed is the cloudburst. Cloudburst condition, we have already discussed the criteria given by the IMD. Okay, but the interesting thing is that the rainfall which was located in the surrounding areas was, they cannot qualify as a cloudburst. Very less rainfall. When we see this place in and around Dharali, very less rainfall precipitation has been recorded by the weather monitoring system. So that is why one of the counter arguments, so it is being said that this cloudburst cannot be the reason why the stream overflowed and then caused havoc in Dharali. Okay. Second is the GLOF, Glacial Lake Outburst Flood. Now, some scientists, they are saying that since the stream is flowing from south to north, so these areas, these are high peaks. So these are high peaks. So here glacial lakes might have existed, and due to the overflowing of those glacial lakes, this outburst flood took place. But again, satellite imagery has shown that in this area, no major glacial lakes have been found which are capable of such a devastating slide. Then the third and the most plausible reason is the glacial debris. Now, what is this? So here, so let us assume that there are debris here. There are debris here. Okay. There is a glacier here. Okay. So the most plausible explanation till now, what the scientists, what the weather monitoring systems have determined, is that it is possible that prior to a few days of the havoc or the devastation in Dharali village, due to high temperatures, these glacier has melted. Some part of the glacier has melted and it has saturated these debris with water. So type of small pond or water enclosed area was formed. Then sustained rainfall. We have already crossed out this cloudburst part, but some rainfall it kept taking place because it's already the monsoon season, and it further saturated these sediments. And obviously, these are not lying straight; these are lying on a slope, so under gravity. And this then, when finally they became loose enough, saturated enough that they could not be held in place, flew, they flew, they they have flown along this Kirgad stream to attack or cause havoc in Dharali village. So these are the important theories. So right now this is the most accepted explanation of what caused the devastation in Dharali. Okay. Now the rescue operations. Some reasons I have already discussed initially. What is leading to more than 60-70 people have been missing. Some of them have died also. So what is further complicating the rescue missions? So first of all, we can see that this is the direction of Mudslide. Okay, this is the Herschel Army Camp. Okay, from where the helicopters are being flown. And I'd also told you there is an NH34 area, NH34 highway, which connects the Raleigh village and further Gangotri. So first of all, first reason for complication is that highway is being blocked. Recently, Haridwar also experienced landslides. Highway is blocked. So essential. Then mudslide. Mudslide, unlike landslide, we know that it contains a lot of fluid. It is highly fluidic in nature. So when the rescuers or the National Disaster Response Force and the SDRF, the people, the personnel are going there, it is acting like quicksand. So it is not easy to traverse through that. Then the lack of communication. So there is a complete blackout in that area. Phone lines are not working. The rescue personnel have to rely on satellite phones. They're running out of battery also, the satellite phones. Okay. Then because of mudslides, heavy machinery or equipment, the dredgers, they cannot be applied here. Okay. So these are the main drawbacks or hindrances for the rescue operations. So currently, the army, the rescue personnel have called for Chinook and M17 helicopters to carry the large equipments and also carry the personnel to assist them in the operation. Okay. Okay. Now, just to conclude, what exactly are now we can say it is God's fury, it is nature's wrath, but this is the cloudburst, glacial lake outburst, GLOFs are common phenomena. But humans, where do humans? First of all, climate change. So it has been observed through satellite and digital imagery that the number of the glacial lakes have multiplied in the immediate past. Okay, then deforestation, the unsound cutting of slopes for infrastructure, the unsound urbanization. Now if you see this location of, you can see this is a stream. Okay, and this is Bhagirathi River. This is the floodplain area. This is loose sediment, loose sand. Here the civilization is settling down, houses are constructed. Whenever water is flowing, it does not have any other place to go. Natural ways, water path have been dismantled. It has been destroyed. So it will go down and it will submerge. It will destroy whatever in its path. Deforestation, you can easily understand. The slopes, steep slopes, roads are why the roads are being constructed. So these unsustainable practices. Now you might recognize, you might remember in 2000, in November December 2023, another disaster took place in the Silk Yara tunnel. Silk Yara is a region. Okay, so this is actually what I wanted to focus is one of the reasons. This Char Dham Pariyojana, which was started a few years back, in order to not only boost the pilgrimage sector but also make it easier for the border forces, army forces to transport equipment and troops, machinery to the border areas. But the main part of these all these roads they currently exist. The main aim of Chardham Pariyojana, Chardham project is to widen the existing roads. But mountains are already sensitive. This area of Himalayas is a tectonically or seismically active zone. Lot of earthquakes take place. There are steep slopes, sedimentary rocks. This is loose sediments. So if these slopes are not cut, they are not respected, the elevation is not monitored, and just roads are being constructed haphazardly. So where will this lead? This will lead to landslides, mudslides, floods, and all these disasters. Just I want to correct this. The naming of these highways have changed. Okay, so these are the different parameters or different projects which have to be. So Rishikesh to Prayagraj to Rudraprayag. So this actually is NH34. Okay, sorry. This is actually NH7. Okay, Rudraprayag. This is also NH7. Rishikesh, Dharasu. So Rishikesh to Dharasu, this is NH34, not 94. Okay, this is Dharasu to Gangotri in NH34, which we just now discussed. So here, this is Gangotri, this is the Dharali, Harsil, Uttarkashi. Okay, then here in the Dharasu to Yamunotri, this is NH134. The Rudraprayag to Gaurikund, okay, towards this Kedarnath. So this is NH 107, okay, and this is Tanakpur to Pithoragarh. This is NH9, just for information purposes. Okay, so here Silk Yara tunnel I was talking about. So on this from Dharasu to Yamunotri on NH134, there is a Silk Yara. Obviously, in this picture, the highways are shown to be straight, but if you have traveled to the mountains, there are curves like this. Okay, so in order to reduce time and make journey more efficient, this Silk Yara tunnel from here, from Silk Yara Bund, it was to be constructed, but a tunnel collapse took place in 2023. Then in 2023 January, Joshimath in Chamoli district. Okay, so Joshimath, this land subsidence. Then recently there was report of soapstone mining in Bageshwar. Okay, so all these mining activities, quarrying activities, urbanization, road building, and obviously deforestation, thousands of hectares of forests are being cleared just for the sake of development. Now the development is necessary, but it has to be sustainable in nature. So from all these evidences going on, cloudburst, GLOS, land subsidence, all these catastrophic tragedies taking place, since even then we are not learning our lesson. So in order to prevent further such catastrophes from taking place, environment is one thing. What nature has to do, it will do. But humans have to be considerate stakeholders in the sustainable development. So, this was all about today's lecture. I hope you found this enlightening in one way or the other. I will be providing timestamps as well in the video. So, till we meet again next time, Jai Hind.